Welcome to my Exodia one-turn kill deck for YuGiOh Master Duel. I have already completed this for Magic the Gathering Arena, and I thought it'd be a good idea to do it for YuGiOh as well. This is the deck that I'm using right now to level up to Platinum at the moment. Now I have made a few changes, and I'll just show those on screen now. So I've replaced the reloads for Magical Mallets because they're a little bit more versatile, and I believe I've changed Into the Void for the card that is on screen. I've forgotten the name of it, but it'll be in there, don't worry. I've changed those because it gave the deck a little bit more versatility. Sometimes I'm just stuck on cards in my hand, like I already have the Exodia pieces, and I'm not done yet on my cycle, and the Magical Mallets definitely helped out a lot more than the reloads did. This is one of the most crucial parts of the deck. We want to try and go second if possible, because we do draw that extra card if we're going second. And any cards we draw before the game starts, we don't have to draw later on. And it's always better to start off with 6 cards as opposed to the 5 they normally give you. Now, this is the worst part about this deck. It is your opponent. At every stage, your opponent will lag behind. They will want to read all their cards. They will have effects. If they are going first, or if you're going first, your opponent will have effects. They will hold priority at every single stage. It's just the way it works. So you can see we've got a pretty good hand to start off with. Now I'm going to be playing the Royal Magical Library first. Okay, we drew another one. Fantastic. So the Royal Magical Library is pretty crucial in the deck. It's always good if we get it first, because every 3 spells we play, we get to draw an extra card. You can see I'm using Trade-In here to discard a level 8 monster. Now, I try and use the Blue Eyes White Dragon with the Trade-In and the Destiny draw with the Destiny Hero card. That's mainly because there's 3 ofs in the deck, so I want to make sure that I'm just using the right cards for the right cards. That makes sense? But I can always use Trade-In for the Destiny Hero as I did before then. So you can see I've just used Upstart Goblin. The life gain really doesn't matter because I'm not planning on killing him with damage. I'm planning on killing him with Exodia. Now you can see what I'm doing here is I'm discarding the Blue Eyes White Dragon to get back the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, it may seem a little bit weird, but Super Rejuvenation allows me to draw an extra card at my end step for every dragon type I've discarded during the turn. So if I play that, it triggers on the discard for the Blue Eyes White Dragon, so I'm drawing 1 extra card. Because I do plan to win on this turn. Hopefully. Cool, so we shuffle in, we draw an extra 4 cards, so we get another reload, which is... it's decent, it's decent. Okay, and we're kind of stuck here, so I play another reload. You will notice throughout this whole game that I won't be chaining any cards, because YuGiOh Master Duel loves to show animations, and it's always easier if we just cancel the animation and just play the card. So you can see I'm looking at my graveyard here to try and see if it's worth to discard another card, which it always is. So I'm going to use the Royal Magical Library again to draw, unfortunately, a piece of Exodia. It's always better if we can get a piece of Exodia later on in the game and not earlier on. If you're drawing pieces of Exodia earlier on, they're kind of dead cards in your hand, unfortunately. There's not really much we can do with them. And you can see I've kind of just petered out here. So I do draw extra cards because of the Super Rejuvenation we played earlier, the 2 of them. So I drew 4 total cards, and I do need to discard down to 6 here. So I'm discarding the White Stone of Legend, because when I discard it, I get to get a Blue Eyes from my deck to my hand, and I can use the Blue Eyes for the Trade-In and the Destiny Hero for the Destiny Draw. And I'm also going to discard the Cards of Consonance because I just discarded the White Stone. Now, there is a chance we could always lose here. That always is possible. YuGiOh is a very fast-paced game. You can always lose in the 1 turn that you pass, so it's always best to try and do it in 1 turn. But if you can't, it's always kind of good to go for the 1 day of peace, so you can't take any damage for your opponent's turn. Yeah, you can see there, he just killed our Royal Magical Library, which is okay. We should still be okay without it, but it's always good to have it on the field, just so we can draw those extra cards. Because we're playing those spell cards anyway, it's always good to just draw an extra one, just for free. And we draw a Royal Magical Library. Fantastic. So I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to play... Okay, I'm going to start off with that, yeah. And I'm going to play Destiny Draw to discard the Destiny Hero first. You may ask yourself, Ben, is there any reason to play Trade-In over Destiny Draw first? Not really, but when you play Trade-In, it gives you two options. You get Blue Eyes and the Destiny Hero, and I just normally don't want to screw up or choose the wrong card, that's all. You'll definitely see the Reload keeps popping up. The game keeps asking me if I want to play Reload as a quick spell. I always say no, because again, YuGiOh Master Duel loves to show those animations. I always cancel it, just to make sure I'm not making this go a little bit slower than normal. Which is also part of the reason why I took Reloads out for Magical Mallets. Because of this single pop-up. Okay, we're using Destiny Draw to discard the Destiny Hero again. And all of this is pretty straightforward. We just keep drawing cards. We keep going up. And we just keep playing the spell cards, keep triggering the Royal Magical Library. I have taken out Into the Void. It was good to draw the extra card, but the fact that we discard all of the cards at our end step means we need to win on the turn that we play it. And if I don't get to Exodia, I just need to surrender, because I don't really have another way to get back multiple pieces. I do have 2 Monster Reincarnations, just so I can bring back the Blue Eyes or the Whitestone of Legend, or in this case, we can also use them for the pieces of Exodia as well. Going to be using Reload here to shuffle in and draw another one. I get another 4 pieces of Exodia. I'm missing the head. Going to discard the Whitestone of Legend, draw an extra 2 cards, and that is game. That is in 2 turns. Here's the lovely animation. Pretty damn good to look at. So that was a win in 2 turns. Let's take a look at win in 1 turn. Obviously, a little bit harder. We do need to get a little bit lucky with the cards we draw, but it is possible. It is definitely possible. Cool. Always choose second. It's always good to draw that extra card. It makes our deck go from 35 cards to start off with to 34, and I'll take anything I can get. And how can I say this in the nicest way possible? We don't care what our opponent is doing. So honestly, at this point, I think I just left my desk. I went and got a drink of water and I came back, because we have 0 interaction in our deck. So it doesn't really matter what he's doing. We just need to watch and let him take his first turn. So I will be fast forwarding through this because he's just playing with trains. There we go, finally done. It always astounds me how much Yu-Gi-Oh has changed. I've come from playing Crystal Beast monsters. Oh, and this is just fantastic. Whenever someone plays a Max C on my turn, it always makes me laugh, because they think I'm going to be special summoning monsters, and I just play spell cards for the next 5 minutes and win instead. It's always funny to watch. Okay, as I said before, your opponent is the worst part of this deck, because many of their cards can hold priority, and every time you play a spell card, they just love to hold priority. They will just keep it, and they need to hit that button that says, no, I don't want to interact at this moment. And it happens every single time something triggers. It does get frustrating, but you do get over it pretty quickly when you see that sweet animation for Exodia. Okay, so we see a reload, Royal Magical Library, and another reload. Normally, I try and take the Royal Magical Library because free cards, of course. And the reloads, I normally try and save for later on when I have kind of used all my spell cards and all my monsters, just so I can refresh my hand and start again. It's the same thing with the Magical Mallets. It's always good to have them later on so I can start shuffling back my hand and try and get into more spell cards so I can keep drawing. The Monster Reincarnations, I believe I said it before, we only kind of use them to get back a monster we could use again to discard, or maybe even a piece of Exodia that I've discarded by accident somehow. Or we could get back a Whitestone or Legend, things like that, just so we can use those cards again. It's always good to have 2 Monster Reincarnations as well, because you can use one to discard the other to get one back. But in this case, I think I choose the Reload, just so I can try and use the Monster Reincarnation again. Yep, they always take the time. There we go. So I'm going to use the Trade in the Blue Eyes again, just to keep drawing cards. Okay, so you can see we're kind of stuck here at the moment. We have a couple of dead cards. So I use Reload to shuffle everything back in, draw another 5. Okay, this is a rough hand. Okay, Royal Magical Library. Let me draw an extra card. I think 1 card changed, maybe 2 cards. Okay, perfect hand, or perfect draw, sorry. Monster Reincarnation, we're going to discard the Destiny Hero card, so we can get back a Whitestone or Legend. Now, if we use that, we can discard it to Cards of Consonance to get out another Blue Eyes as well, and draw 2 cards. Now, it's all about discarding and drawing more cards to try and churn through our deck as quick as possible. This deck is very random. I do love playing it. It is quite fun to play. So you can see the Whitestone or Legend just triggered there, just to get the Blue Eyes out of our deck. And it's perfect because we just do a trade in as well. So we can discard the Blue Eyes that we just searched for. And you can see Royal Magical Library is pretty important to the way this deck functions. It's always good to have one on the field. I believe I did cut one of it for a Threatening Roar as well, which I have updated in the deck list at the front of the video, sorry. Just because if I do go to a second turn, it's always nice to just let my opponent know he's not going to attack. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of at a stop. I couldn't do anything else, but I have played a lot of Super Rejuvenations, so I should draw a ton of cards at my end step. And there we go. Pieces of Exodia. My first turn kill. He couldn't do anything, and that's game. So I think that game went for about 4 minutes, but it was a lot of him just playing solitaire with his cards, and in my defense, I was playing solitaire as well, but thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode. The deck list will be in the description, and it's also at the front of the video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh my god. Mango and banana juice. Can we just take a second and just appreciate mango and banana juice? I'm not sponsored. Haven't ever been sponsored on this channel. But mango and banana juice, if you guys want to sponsor me, what is this, Joe's Classic? If you sponsor me, dude, I will do anything you want. I'll play any game you want. I'll do anything. I'll make a vlog.